Hi, it's me again. Insanity still going on. I redid headquarters, the inspector general, emailed them the information where to find it. They were out harassing me at night. They followed me today saying stuff again. Where they had the occult drug me and tell me to say crazy stuff. And I didn't know it because they drugged me. These people are admitting to kidnapping and drug charges, and now they're attempted extortion, trying to get money out of people or anything, and trying to get me in trouble for them kidnapping me. That's where it's ridiculous. Hear that? And that goes back. They do it all night long. The Inspector General, I redid them, and I did Sherrod Brown, Rob Portman, Kurt Shearing's office already did an investigation, and they know that local FBI did some crimes against me. Everything that happened to me was highly illegal, and they won't fix it. That's where they're making a big mistake. They were doing it for selfish gain of their own for Michelle, and there was a girl named Lauren, and a heavyset girl with big chest. And they were trying to steal for their own, and he's gonna marry an old fat woman. Hear him? They think they're funny. Sounds like the roars of hell, huh? These people are evil. The last 33 agents that tried this craziness are still in 20 years in jail. U.S. Supreme Court 11th Circuit 18-10134. Outlawed neurochipping. Beat rape torture. Last night, I went to go outside, and I looked outside, and there was a car there. You wanted me to pick her up? You want to do what? I won't go to jail for this. And they take off. Crazy ass people. All of this will be going to headquarters too. They do realize my car tapes. It's an FBI investigation and state. Everything around me is bugged, including my head with a stupid neurochip. And the agency took responsibility. 31321 Altman Hospital, that the agency did it, and that damn bastard on 12/21/18 stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator. They want me to die from the neurochip, so Dave gets everything. The guy in the mall called them paid off dirty agents. They are. And it was for selfish gain and selfish gain only. And this severe cult would not have got this far if Dave wouldn't have found Michelle in Ravenna. Memorial Day weekend 2019, food counter, old white woman screaming out that it was for her daughter. They did all this for her, and David met her in Ravenna and mocks me for being a protected person in the state cleared to the register. Memorial Day weekend 2019. It was one of their daughters, and she's not even going to get it. He's marrying an older, heavy, fat woman of his own thing. He used them, like I said, he used us all. Are they down here fixing me? Are they down here helping the victims of the gunshot night? No, you know what they're doing? You know what they said? Some guy was glad he never met me after he found out what Melissa's kid said. Did the asshole call the Massillon police and ask the truth and take responsibility and ownership of his own life? No, you'd rather be a retard, a mental retard with low education and low IQ and listen to lies. Oh, they tried to kill her. They drugged her and kidnapped her and told her to say something and then had the kids lie. We know. People with badges have been down here, second apartment, next building over, and where they had laughed at me that I figured out Dave did it to me before. Well, a guy with a bat showed up. They told him the truth. Yes, they did drug her and tell her to say it. Little old lady on the other street at Fairlawn Street yelled at him. It's not funny the church people broke in before, drugged her, and told her to say she's some kind of weirdo before. It was their permanent plan to do away with me. I didn't know they did it because they drugged me. And these people want to make money off of this? No officer, no agent. Knocked on my door. Karen, I'd like to talk to you. Miranda writes, turning, no, Steve, Eric, Kurt, Chris, Mark, no Mama's a tiny fan. Nobody did. So how'd they get their names? Dave and I talk about it on tape, and he defends me. Defends me, calls her childish, forever insulting me. And find out the ass is one of the ones that found me before. And he thought it was funny, and people have told people with badges that they did it to me. And so these people want to go to jail, right? Because I don't get in trouble for being a victim. They already said this is how evil this occult is. That agent that raped me with a stalker. He said he raped me because I didn't call 911 on the gunshot night. Not the agents that brave. They stayed out of it at Walmart at the register. Young African-American agents with dreadlocks. We stayed out of the gunshot night because Dave's girlfriend's prettier and the guy running it didn't blame us. Older white guy with gray hair and mustache. How stupid I looked hiding. Well, I'll tell you what, you'd hide if there was a green laser light crossing your eyes and lights crossing out back. And they said those people actually died that night. I'd already almost been shot in the head driving. These people are ridiculous, paid off from that occult. You got to think. You call the FBI and you tell them I got people threatening me and people are showing up. They don't go up to the bad churches where they went to Apostolic Church of Barberton and told I called, but an agent did before I called the other one back. Why? Because Dave was dating Michelle. They were taping me unaware of my home. They knew I called the FBI. They had Will's number. There was no, and then they sold the login of all things. They're so corrupt here. And people have all this hurt and pain that your agency did to me as personal enjoyment, like a reality show. Your neurochip needs to come out. It comes up on police scanners. Government chip. More than one police station said something to me. Hear them screaming outside. Molly's FedEx at 3 on 8/27 at 3, about 3:15. 2 agents showed up. The agent said he raped her because she didn't call 911. That's bullshit. He would have went after the agents that stayed out of it. It should have been an internal investigation. What the hell happened that night? Karen's hiding on the floor. Guns fires going off. People got killed. Who was back up and who was logged in? She was protected by us, and it's our fault. Yes, it's your fault. Everything that happened was your fault. And it pisses the hell out of me. The hell out of me. My brother-in-law died as a consultant for your agency. It was my family that died, not yours. And I almost died to save my family. And it's not my fault those assholes came up there and did that shooting. And it's not my fault. When I knew my house was bugged, those agents bragged they stayed out of it. And it's not my fault Dave hired him and has mistaken a big one. They met up outside the house. And they said they killed someone. Actually 2. And some guys here said he's crippled over it. And I tried to get him help and I got raped and tortured. A few weeks before the rape and torture, I told you I bought a prepaid phone. Was going to turn them in. Even took it down to my attorney's office, Seth. And I said, Seth, I have a package. Would you deliver it? What's in it? I can't say. 1239 North Chapel in the middle of the night, a few weeks before. Now my apartment and my car and everything tapes. And they sold the log. 2:33 in the morning, men are yelling, standing outside silver cars to women. You can't beat a single woman by yourself. And you can't ever state what happened up there, because I was going to turn them in. Woke up to arms above my head, smothered with a pillow, punched in the front of my private area, punched up inside. Until the fourth time coming up for air, I passed out. Sit her up. They poured something in my mouth. I wouldn't swallow it, and they smeared it on my face, and it paralyzed me. She don't stated do it to her again, and they did it until I just said whatever they wanted, so they stopped raping me and stopped beating me. And Amy next door heard the bangs. I woke up with bruises on my face, on my arms. My private area is swollen. I'm horrified. I've been raped. I've been tortured. I have been drugged. I put makeup on my face, and I grab my bedding and I go down to wash it, and they have women in the laundry mat. Tape glitched for hours. She woke up with bruises. No one knows why it didn't glitch. They lied over, because they sold the log, and over 20, 30 people have said who was in the room and everything else. People have that for personal enjoyment. I seen that ass at Macy's, and I was scared. And I went to leave, and there's a lady standing there with bags. And I'm like, can I help you? My car was stolen. Do you need me to take it somewhere? No. I have someone coming. I said, it's hot. Do you want to sit in my vehicle? No, you can go ahead and go. I said, I don't want to leave you. She's like, you're fine. They'll be here soon. So I go to Faith Family Church. A lot of them have the login. And that idiot shows up in the back of my church. There's 3,000 of us. There's over 1,000 in that sanctuary. He comes in. I had to arrest that whore. And the guy in my church got in his face, what you did was considered rape, you leave her alone. And he starts yelling about it, Dave and everybody. And they're turn around looking, and I'm horrified. I worked at Berry Cheese between July 23rd of 19 and September 1st of 19. 4 women in the main room, heavy set, white. They taped there too. 2 turn around in the middle. He said, if you open your mouth again, he'll do it to you again. I was warned to stay quiet. And then they try to say Melissa took credit for that. It's like, what did she have to do with Dave's mass murder? Because they said they killed 2 men outside. And they said they actually died. It was bad enough that afterwards, the agents moved in the male nurse's house for a month, and the undercover police down the road. Something happened. People weren't allowed in the same aisle as me. In stores, no one gets near. They're arguing in Walmart 62 after the shooting. You gotta pull her out. You can't, you get in trouble. One guy's like, I don't care anymore. One more bad thing that happens, I'll hide her in my own home. I was left in high danger for the selfishness of their own. And she ain't even gonna get it. He's marrying Kathy. He, like the guy said, he used us all. And they want to make a buck off of this? I don't think so. There's called a law, U.S. Supreme Court, 11th Circuit, 2005, 18-10134. No, neurochipping. Neurochip 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator. Woke up with hair messing my head, got a dent in my skull. You can see the wires, the cut and the crack. Agency took responsibility for it. 3/13/2:53 p.m. at Altman Hospital. That the agency did it. And in the back, a damn bastard neurochipped me there. I said they already knew. The Mercy Medical Radiology March of this year have a CT scan with dye. You can see the cut, the wires, and the crack. Some guy showed up to insult me at the radiology department at Mercy Medical, and they said, look, we all know some ass chipped her, and it comes up government chip on police scanners. It's illegally implanted, and you have to take it off. It's court ordered, and there's something called Justice for Victims of Torture and Terrorism Act. And you have to compensate me, and you have to take care of this. The Inspector General, like some girl said, will kill you for this. And then Melissa's little gangbangers, for of course it never happened. And of course it wasn't true. We made it up. Giggle, giggle, giggle. October 23rd, 2019. They took, floor rats them out. My other granddaughter, she's 7. Laughing how they told her they were supposed to pretend it. And the severe cult had it all planned out to drug and fountain me and tell me to say something stupid I didn't know about for over a year. And they told people with badges they did it to me, that they did drug her and tell her to say it. And I didn't know because they drugged me. And they knew it. And they let it happen to me for selfish gain. Somebody needs to get down here and fix this. I don't die for bastards. I almost died to save my family. That idiot was on the phone the first week. Dixie and the baby are next. We'll teach Josh a lesson for having her down there. He said he was so angry he could cut his hands off so he couldn't work anymore. And for there's a list. And we'll move on to who we want next. And I called that agent and I left a message with his secretary about the list. And then their vehicles get tampered with. Lug nuts taken off, tires coming off while she's driving. Re-loosened again, tires flattened, slashed. Backfires, blow smoke. Dixie usually takes the car, and Josh took it that day, and way up on 21, his whole car exploded, and he barely got out alive. They played with the brake systems, both sides of the tires, took the lug nuts off, and so when he pulled forward, his tires exploded. The Massillon police have worked almost the whole case because they've been trying to keep an eye on them because they keep tampering with their vehicles. And that's why I always say, if you want to know I'm innocent, call the Massillon police. They told the Canton officer, Mount Carmel, Illinois, and about 8 other people. It's a documented game of pretend. The courthouse police, undercover police, they called it fucking shit. My family should be ashamed of. Karen's a good woman. The FBI was in Walmart. Some of the agents that usually used to watch me, they told them it's ridiculous. No child should ever be afraid to be around Karen. She's nothing but good and love. They told FedEx before a new guy came on the case. No, I haven't seen her yet. I heard she's really something. She's in the vehicle saying this, this, and this. And they're probably just going to try to kill her. Older agent working the case, for we all know this woman's innocent. Aspen Dental, they come in the back with their small children. They won't kill an innocent woman. And they said some other stuff. Some agent named Harry was watching me. And then a rumor started that Prince Harry was up. Yeah, right. He doesn't even know I'm alive. Rumors went everywhere. And they even mentioned that. And I'm like, oh my God, they're back to that rumor. Although I'll tell you what, I was in an elevator once. And this one agent looked just like him. And I'm like, you look like a person. Yeah, and there was a bald guy, looked like his car. They're nice suits, trench coats. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, it looked down at me and the guy's like, your car's waiting for you. And I'm like, oh my God, do you know who you look like? And he walks off. And then that rumor just went everywhere. I go into even West Tuscany, Walmart. They talked about, I'm like, it's a rumor. He doesn't even know I'm alive. But there was an agent named Harry that they said was helping take care of me. He must be important or mean or both, because when he watched me, people were nice to me because they went to be mean to me and they said something about Harry and people scattered like children. So, go Harry. Go Harry. Go Harry. They're like, are they crazy being mean to her? And then they start running like children. I'm like, it was comical. It was comical. Some of the good agents, they did sweet things for me. That Agent Harry, before the violent beat, rape, and torture, some guys were at Berry Cheese. They looked at me and said something about, yeah, right, Harry's done with her for life. He said to protect her. Everybody in formation. And they started marching around me. I was so embarrassed I walked out. It was sweet. Thank you for that. Made me giggle. But they did sweet things like that because they felt bad for me for the way it happened to me and the way Dave treated me. Some of the police and district attorney's office and the FBI, they showed up at the Walmart when my mind was so cluttered of fear and I couldn't think, and I'd go sit on a bench. They'd walk up and act silly, no, she hasn't seen me yet, and they'd turn around with their phones and just to make me smile. They had to show up for security, so they entertained themselves by acting silly. Nothing like about 30 men trying to make you smile. It was kind of them. They didn't have to. See, not all the agents were me. And their families. They brought their small children around me. They sat on benches. Their teenagers went shopping with me. And they would joke, she's interviewing to be my stepmother. I thought, I need to meet her now. And then their mothers would go shopping with me and help me pick out stuff. They did safety in numbers. See, not everybody's bad. Somebody needs to get down here and take care of me. I need the neurochip out and the swelling removed. I may have a septal infract in my heart with those idiots that break in and stab me with a needle to get me to either say more crazy crap or to get Dave's crazy crap out from before. FBI don't drug people because of the fifth. You have the right to remain silent or it's thrown out. They don't neurochip EP either because of that law of the 18-10134. They outlawed it when those agents tried it in a prison setting. They put them in jail for 20 years. RICO charges. And compensated the women, paid their medical bills, and let them go. They outlawed it. It's illegal trade dress worldwide against all human rights, against all human dignity. And if they were going to neurochip anyone, wouldn't they do Dave to find out who all they're going to murder? Get this guy's name? Do Bishop Keith Strange and Ron? So they would find out who's on that list. Oh, they look at me and say, we know she doesn't have it in her to shoot someone. I'm like, stop that. Tell people I'm even scary. I mean, they'd rather do that than a woman that laid her life down and almost took a bullet trying to keep her family safe and faced 6 stalkers and 2 murderers and had an ass beat on me with the internal injuries. Is he in jail? No. Did I report it? Yes. Did anybody arrest him? No. These people are running around saying, we're going to get money out of this. They drugged her and told her to say something stupid. We're having the kids lie. We know they lied. It's a documented lie. Even the lady that told the guy with the badge, she was outside. I already told them they're all lying. They even told Flora they were lying. This is how ridiculous it is. It goes back to that agent. Remember the truth. They'll try to implant lies. They'll try to steal everything you have in life. People got paid off up here. It became 2 teams, one for you, one for Dave. The agents are so corrupt, they'd even try to steal a settlement. If they go to Walmart 62 by December and January, there's 2 teams. You can see them, good agents in one arm, bad in another. It's that bad. A guy in the mall said, I could write a bestseller. I'd call it Karen's Prayers. Paid off dirty agents, a man trying to kill his wife, and men being shot at running. It'd be a bestseller. Put all this on it. No wonder people buy the book. They do need to show up and help me. I do not die for bastards. Good agents, you can't disrespect me in front of. How dare these people insult her? She almost died to save those people. I haven't even lived through what she has. We want her to feel good about herself after what she's lived through. And these people want to make a buck off of this. Off of a documented me game of pretend. Oh, I heard that fentanyl confession is really sick. I'm glad I have permanent amnesia. I don't care if you're gay. You can be gay all you want. Not gay. Not a little bit. Guys across the street from Jim is sick. They gave her that amnesia drug and told her to admit gay sex stuff. I'm like, I don't care if you're gay. I'm not. No, not even a little bit. And then they said, they had you admit to the me game of pretend. I was like, that's stupid. It's a me game of pretend. And I didn't know about it until Flora laughed about it. Like she said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. October 23rd, 2019. She ratted them out. Somebody else looked into it in January. The whole thing was a mean joke. Yeah, it was. But it's not funny. That extreme recall had Dave Fentanyl me before. And they know it. And there's people down here with badges. And they're already saying, yeah, they drugged her before and told her to say it. Now they want a buck off of it because I didn't die. And since they drugged and framed me, we deserve money for this, right? Someone needs to do their damn job. Like they said, these people are admitting to kidnapping her. Accessory. We paid off some dirty agents to stick her with a needle, caused a SAPR infection to her to make it look official. FBI don't drug people. They don't use sodium pentothal. Why? Because you lie under it. It's documented. And it's lethal injections. It's that deadly. FDA does not even allow it imported in the United States, and it's not prohibited of being used in humans. It's used for lethal injections for animals and for humans. So they want to say they try to kill me to get me to lie. Because you falsely admit to luring children, falsely admit to crimes too. Questioner gets what it wants, right or wrong. False memories implanted and falsely admitted to Pearl Harbor. It's anesthesia. Like an agent said, we all know you lie under that shit. It's a movie shit. They don't drug anybody because it's thrown out. Because then they become the villains. There's a due process. There's a due process. You know, an agent already came up to me. Melissa's so stupid she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid she didn't check where you were. The first lie. You bent over improperly and they seen your butt. You were wearing this one nightgown. I didn't own it. And they only made fun of the back of my knees once. And then they said, well, you were wearing this other, they went, oh, Grandma, what's on the back of your legs? Varicose veins. I got them when I had your daddy. Here, old Papa, while I get changed. They're right behind my knees. I was video chatting with Dave. He defends me on tape. That's how sick all this is. Yeah. He defends me and calls her childish. I have witnesses in my phone. Yeah, that they were going to lie because I was going to move out. Nothing bad happened, even when I watched them 7 years ago. That Melissa and I have proof we were Facebook friends, Messenger friends. She came to my 50th party in 17. She called me in June of 17, and she sat beside me. She was fine, not alone. August of 17, when she was upset with my son, she called me up because she was upset because I'm her mother-in-law. Her parents had moved to Florida. She actually asked me to babysit at 17, but her and John were always fighting, so I didn't do it. Yeah. Let's see, what else? I also have admitting that the kids were in the basement with the boys, didn't come upstairs, of July of 18. And I'm outside drinking water with John. That was their second lie. They came upstairs, looked through a cracked bathroom door. You're being weird with yourself. And I'm like, ew. And they said that's her second lie. And I'm outside drinking water with John. And witnesses, they're up. Yeah, that was their second lie. Third lie, they'll make up something and call you a bad word. The mean game of pretend. where I was supposed to have assaulted them, and I didn't. And like Flora said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. It was a game of pretend. Giggle, giggle, giggle. And she's laughing. She's 7. She thought it was fucking funny. October 23rd, 2019, she states that. In between that, they told people I vandalized their church, shot up a home, shot up a home and killed someone. That was Dave. They said I was racist. I hated crippled people. Broke in a home, tied my arms and legs to a chair, knocked it over, kicked it over, and jumped out a window. I'm 54 years old. Really? You gotta get the hip boats out. They called it fucking shit. My family should be ashamed of. Karen's a good woman. Undercover police in the courthouse of Ravenna. Maslin police is a documented main game of pretend. Somebody else looked into it. It was all mean jokes. But it's not funny that cult broke in and had people drug me, witnesses thereof, and told me to say stupid stuff. And then that ass fentanyl me before. It's not funny they set up tiny cameras and watched me in my home. They told people they had a court order. They didn't have a court order. So they had pictures of my whole body and me naked and even making love to my ex-husband. That's how very big laws broke. There's right to privacy. Spying on somebody like that is a 2-year sentence. You want to admit you did it. Because it has to be police and hire and investigation only. There was no investigation till I called Will. Or I called the agency and Will called me back. Wiping toxic water off with clothes on. You adjusted yourself. You didn't expose yourself. You're good because I wiped some water off with clothes on. Because it was running. They tried to make it dirty. They said these people are extremely reaching. And then they just wiped it out. You adjusted yourself. You didn't expose yourself. You're good. You got to think you pull a bathing suit out of your crotch, your butt, your front. Adjust the top. Dry off water everywhere. Lay on a towel. Guys adjust their front area. People pull out wedgies in public. You're not 12. And what they're doing is utterly ridiculous. And if somebody would actually come down here, this is actually what FBI does. You want to do the top 10 stupidest criminals? These people are down here admitting to all these crimes. Some lady said, do you realize these people are admitting to kidnapping her? They are. And they have proof of it I haven't seen yet. Some guy in the dark the other night said nobody will ever question her about this because they drugged her. They did the crimes, not me. Not me. Because, not me. When I even talk to Dave, he calls Melissa childish. You're good to everyone. Don't worry about it. That ass that hired all those killers. Fentanyl me too. And then witnesses thereof told people with badges that they did it. And had church people break in and do it too. And they've already told on them. So, I haven't met the Steve, Eric, Kurt, Chris, or Mark. People leave names around. Mama's a Tony friend, no officer, no agent. Nobody knocked on their door and talked to me. They did their investigation around me and found them all lying. And all pretending, and they wiped it out 2 years ago. But they drugged her and told her what, say something. We're going to get money out of this. No, you're not. It's called 20 Lives, Sweet Bee. I need someone to show up here. This isn't funny.